luxury brand disguised as a grocery store. Whether it be the online ordering or traveling all the way to California to the 10 Erewhon locations and acting like it's Disney World, no one should support this. The Erewhon mission statement goes on to say, with the help of Athens Services, a family-owned recycling company, we contribute over 1,000 tons of organic waste every year. All of that matter is reused, minimizing our carbon footprint and lifting the burden off of landfills. No, Erewhon, you are not. You are not lifting the burden off of landfills. Because when people buy the single strawberries with 3 plastic components and they buy all those smoothies in plastic cups, what are the customers doing? Throwing the plastic stuff into the trash can. And how would Erewhon know if that plastic is then being recycled? They're literally just not. Everything in the Erewhon mission statement looks good on paper, and it's just a bunch of fancy words and a bunch of fluff. But if you really look at Erewhon, they do not practice what they preach at all. Another really bad thing that I think about Erewhon is that when other companies see how gullible people are and how they justify shopping at Erewhon, and how easy it has been for Erewhon to get popular and manipulate people into buying regular food for 20 times the price, other companies will try to make their own version of Erewhon. These luxury brand grocery stores are already starting to pop up in more and more places around the United States. Just like when Starbucks got more popular and it was seen as crazy for having coffee that was like $7 a cup, but then other coffee shops started to raise their prices to the point that now coffee is always kind of like the same Starbucks price. If this Erewhon stuff continues, it will just be the same thing, which is also another reason why even if Erewhon is a joke, it's not funny, because if you just make expensive grocery stores when food is already so expensive and then you just make more expensive grocery stores, it's just not funny. Just like when Starbucks was like, oh, these are our rare beans from South America, that's why our espresso adds $5 a cup. Then other grocery stores would be like, wait, why are we selling eggs for $3 when Erewhon is selling it for $16.99?
So apparently there's a version of Erewhon in New York. I love Erewhon. I have been so excited to go here, and I'm gonna take you guys with. Let's go. We are here. Wait, I'm freaking out. It is so cute in here. Look at this floral section. This is our first stop. Thank you so much. Yeah, just the casual quail eggs. What? They have the craziest shit here. These look phenomenal. This is their famous $16 ice cream pint. I feel like I need to get one. We're trying out this one. Sounds insane. Fruit selection is absolutely stunning. Literally have no room left, so it's time to try it out. Already at $126 and not even halfway through. How much we have? Okay, so I definitely just saw a famous actor in there, but I just got so much shit. 2 full bags. Totally get the hype, so worth it. Very expensive, but I'm gonna do a haul for you guys.
This Hailey Bieber Erewhon smoothie dupe is the best one you'll find in New York City and is also perfectly coordinated for Valentine's Day. The strawberry glaze heart on top. Look at this masterpiece. It's the Mary Lodi smoothie at Ori's in the Upper East Side. It is truly strawberry glaze heaven. Plus, it was only $10, which is a steal for specialty smoothies these days.
Welcome to the Hamptons. We're gonna play a game, and it's guess how much my Cinderella haul costs. Little context, we're cooking dinner for 7 people tonight. All right, what do we think? Closest without going over wins.
So I went to Cinderella. I'm gonna say this is one of the most expensive supermarket that I've been to. I can't even say it's a supermarket or a grocery store. It's like gourmet grocery store, kinda. Okay, because they're charging. Look, $11 for breakfast sausages, and what's this? $39.19 for some Norwegian salmon. Salmon fillet. This is just one fillet in here, and it's $39.19. And I also got their mozzarella cheese. $12 for some mozzarella cheese. Heirloom tomatoes. Those are expensive too. Then I had, some chips and cereal. But either way, I say that to say this. Go to Stop and Shop or ShopRite. Better yet, Key Food. Because these people, no. No. Okay, bye.
In my last Erewhon video, I talked about how Erewhon says that their produce is the healthiest food in the world and the best food. Better than Whole Foods, better than anything else. It's such a B Corp, it's so sustainable, it's so regenerative, so organic, and everything like that. But then, once you do a slight amount of digging, like it doesn't even require that much research, you'll find that Erewhon literally has videos saying, out of their own mouths, that they grow their produce in Moore Park, California. This area has highly radioactive soil due to a nuclear disaster in the 1950s. And Erwan's video about this was flooded with comments from people that know that it's radioactive, so I don't understand why they're not even like hiding this. They have all the mission statements, but then they're just like exposing themselves left and right, which also leads me to believe that this is all just a big troll, but the joke isn't funny. And again, Erwan defenders are all over TikTok calling everybody broke, jealous, and everything else if they don't want to shop at Erwan. But it's just clearly not the case. We're just not that dumb to shop at Erwan. And people from LA are saying that the actual celebrities and actual rich people in California are not shopping for groceries at Erwan. It's only influencers who are trying to get clout by like filming themselves in Erwan, and then tourists who are just like going there for a joke. But the influencers who try to use Erwan as a status symbol just make themselves look out of touch and just ridiculous. And guys, please don't go to Erwan, even if it's just to like make a mockery of it, because if you go there and spend your money, you're still contributing to all of this craziness. But the definite target for Alyssa's publicity stunt were influencers and teenage girls, because these are the main demographics who would buy Erwan online or would actually travel there.
I suddenly speak so many samurai flies.
But guys, no matter how many influencers you see saying Erewhon is the best place on earth, remember that it's all just one big marketing scam and they're just making fun of you behind your back.
Okay, we're gonna try the $100 melon. This is the same company as the $19 strawberry. We are going to taste test this melon. It is so beautiful. Here she is. There is a certain way to cut this melon. So, oh my goodness, it's very heavy. There, cut it in half. Oh my god, it cuts so easily. That is what a $100 melon looks like. In Japan, these cost $130 US. That is crazy. This melon is grown in Japan by a man and his wife. Their grandmother cleans them one by one with a brush. This little piece of fruit that we just think is a melon is so much more. One plant grows one melon. That's a lot of plants you have to plant. And all of the nutrients go into this one melon. In Japan, the culture of gift giving is giving fruits. Like, it's a sign of wealth and prosperity. So let's try it. I'm gonna be done talking now. Red tea. All these seeds. It's so easy to cut. That's just how ripe it is. I wish I could give this to you guys through the phone so you can taste how juicy this melon is. I love melon so much because it's low in calories and because it's super sweet and just super delicious. But I have never had anything that tastes like this before. I will say this is the best melon I've ever had in my life. And I mean, it should be for $100, but I'm gonna sit here and eat this entire melon. And to think that this little thing came all the way from Japan to my kitchen is crazy. They're trying to find a way to make this organically certified. It is grown naturally, so it's hard to certify a melon, as they were saying to me, so it can't be anything unless it's organic. So hopefully this thing will be coming to Erewhon near you, so you guys can try the $100 melon. I swear, like, I would give you guys all a little piece if I could. I love you guys. Thank you for watching.
Please don't drop $400 on a flight and $1,000 on an Erewhon haul just to post it on TikTok for likes and views, while the owners literally are laughing in your face and sitting back counting millions. And also, you should never do things just for clout and likes and views on TikTok because one, TikTok could be banned again very soon. And two, Erewhon is a monster. The real reason why the 10 Erewhon locations, all located in the richest parts of LA, make $1 million a week is not because rich people can afford Erewhon and who cares? Like, I'm a millionaire, who cares if ice is $30? It's not because rich people are shopping there. It's because it's literally Six Flags at this point. And even if your favorite celebrity makes an Erewhon celebrity smoothie, don't support that either. Because if your favorite celebrity partners with Erewhon, you should probably think twice about them being your favorite celebrity. I don't see any Zendaya or Tom Holland Erewhon smoothies, and I never will. Imagine if we did. And by the way, side note, I'm pretty sure that Zendaya is from Oakland, California, so that's probably another reason why she does not have an Erewhon collaboration, the most hypocritical monster in LA. And we already know from my last video that the Hailey Bieber smoothie is just almond milk, half a banana, Driscoll strawberries that they sell everywhere else for a third of the price, a slice of avocado, a fourth serving of Vital Proteins collagen powder, and sea moss gel. And I want to point out a very important comment that one of you guys left on my last Erewhon video that left me incredibly shook. Now, allegedly,
Oh yeah, I
Erewhon
forgot
sea
about
moss,
you.
according to one of you guys, has very disturbing origins. But according to Erewhon, their sea moss gel is from water near Ireland and deep seas and deep oceans. According to
Dude, I found this at Hobby Lobby for $10.
Fancy moss and algae gel gets
And this is
harvested
a
from
shawl that
disgusting
I'm
lake
making.
in Klamath Falls. The entire lake
Look at
is
the
dark
pretty
brown, and it's a big migratory
texture.
spot from birds, so there's bird poop everywhere. And the city won't clean it because selling algae to health and wellness brands is one of their only sources of revenue. The place is
Oh, sorry, that's
it's
the back.
hilarious that rich influencers are paying so
This
much
is the
money
front.
for Klamath slip. So yeah, again,
Check that
this is
out.
alleged because I don't know
Look
if
at the
Erewhon
beautiful
likes
pattern.
stuff about Klamath Falls from the internet and linking it to their sea moss gel, but I couldn't find anything.
Klamath
I completely
Falls?
believe this one. But again, allegedly. But $20 squash from radioactive farmlands and $88 for sea moss gel from this lake. Yeah, Erewhon, I'm good. Of course, growing food in California is good.
You guys, I want to take Elliot to this fucking car
Because
museum.
California has the worst ozone in the United States. But don't grow food there and then quadruple the price of the food because you're saying that it's the freshest produce in the country.
I
And
found a
don't
car
grow it all
museum in
shredded when it's
Washington,
not even rotten,
Tacoma,
just because
Washington.
producers didn't buy it. At the end of the day, guys, remember that just because
And I
something
want
is
to take
expensive
Elliot
does
so
not mean that it's
bad.
better. Just like when Prada made that straw bag and still charged thousands of dollars for it when it's not even a high quality material.
I have been loving the designer beach
Is
bag
Barefoot in
trend, but
here?
you're crazy if you're spending $1,000 on a straw bag.
You're just paying for the label. It's just a huge waste of money.
I need to
and
call her or
basically
text her
wasting
because
money.
I'm going to see if
You
I
just
can
look for
sleep on her
non-GMO
couch.
produce at your local grocery stores and farmers markets. Please don't fall into credit card debt for these ridiculous luxury designer grocery stores. I've also seen New York City
I looked it
versions
up
of
and
Erewhon
renting a
popping
car
on
is
TikTok,
like
but
not
just
that
no matter where you
expensive.
are in the United States or around the
And
world,
like
just don't support
gas
Erewhon or
wouldn't
any
be that
of these
much.
businesses. And don't
It's
let
only
people
a
on TikTok
4-hour
pull
trip,
you into shopping at Erewhon to try to
maybe a
prove something
5-hour
to them,
trip
because no matter how
to
much
the
they
Seattle
justify the
area.
prices or tell you that you must fly economy
There
to
is a
Erewhon, just
Titanic
don't. And when you
exhibit
see clear publicity stunts
in
like
Seattle,
strawberries, just
and
maybe chuckle,
I don't know if you know this,
Erewhon,
but the
15.
Titanic is his
Don't
favorite. So I
fly
was
all the way
thinking
there
if I
just to
take
try
him
to
to the
cover. Don't send your news crew
Titanic
and
exhibit,
down there
I
to
can
try
take him to
it. Don't
Tacoma.
taste
So
test the
Seattle and
thing, just
Tacoma, I could take him
thank you
to
guys
this
all so
car
much for
museum.
watching. Please
It's
leave a
called
like and comment on the
LeMay
video,
Car
and let me know
Museum,
how
and
you
it's
feel about
apparently
all
got
this
like
madness, and how you feel
500
about how it
cars
got
there.
even crazier
And
within the
so
last
anyway,
decade.
I just
And
really
please
want to take
subscribe to
Elliot
help
to
us
go.
reach our goal
I
of
want to go. I want to
20,000
do what we
people on
used to
YouTube. And
do,
I'll see you guys
which
all in
is
my
we
next
used to
video.
live
Bye, guys.
mobily. We lived in our van, and so we went places all the time. We were always out and about. We were on the coast. We were in the mountains. We were going to like the aquarium. We just did stuff nonstop. And that's why like this is a struggle for us. You know, this isn't what we're like really used to. This is not what our life is supposed to be like. And the only reason that I even went and lived off grid was to try and, you know, strike while the iron was hot and team up with another mom and help another mom, you know, get out of a struggle situation and then build a community to help other single moms. Because I think that it's more beneficial for the children to have a village, you know, of people. But anyway, so life turned out the way it did, and it's just been really hard for us to be stagnant in one place. Elliot has been a traveler child since he was 2. When he was 2 years old, we bought the RV and we left Florida, and that's when we started. And Josh came to Oregon, and then, you know, he moved into a regular apartment and like just regular schmegular life, no more mobile stuff. But I have kind of stayed a little bit more wild, and I'm anxious to. I want to take a trip. I want to go on. I want to do something. I want to take my kid to go do something that is memorable and that, you know, because we're just like fighting so much these days. Because he's like a caged fucking cat, a cat in a kennel being here. And at his dad's, it's just like video games and stuff like that. So if I take him to go something like that, you know, he'll get so much mileage off of that, you know, he'll be able to like remember it and go over the, you know, he'll get a lot of mileage out of it, I think. Also, it might be, you know, nice to do something, because like seriously, like we have literally been at like not getting along. He's been mean to me and been treating me like shit, and I think that if I do something that like a grand gesture, I think that he will realize like mom really goes out of her way to, you know, take care of me and whatever, because I fucking do. But I also want to do it because we haven't done anything in a really long time, and I think it would be fucking awesome to do something like that. Also, I would love to surprise him. I think that would be so much fucking fun to like not tell him where we're going and just like get a rental car and just like drive somewhere, and he has like no clue where we're going or what we're doing. And then he gets the biggest surprise when we pull up to like a Titanic, you know, like dude, that's just what I live for shit like that. So that's what I want to do. So tomorrow I'm going to go rent a car. See if Adam will take me to go rent a car. And we'll go Sunday, Monday. So there's also like this all started because I was thinking about taking him to go. I was going to rent a car and I was going to go to Long Beach, California and take him to the Queen Mary, the ship that's now like a hotel. It used to be, you know, it's got a lot of really cool shit. Anyways, he's obsessed with these ships. So, and he's watched so many videos about the Queen Mary and he loved that. So I was like, how cool would it be to surprise him? But then I like went on Chat GPT and I asked Chat GPT. I always forget that Chat GPT can do things. Like I literally ask Chat GPT like to spell things and to like search the internet for things sometimes. And that's pretty much it. Like I don't really know how to use it to maximize, you know, the benefit or whatever, but like I thought to myself, I was like, I wonder if Chat GPT could help me plan a trip. So I asked and I was like, so I want to go from basically anywhere between Seattle and like Northern California. Or no, I asked it, I said, are there any car derbies, race show things going on between Eugene and Long Beach between the March 1st and March 4th? And it gave me this other place. And then I started researching that other thing and I was like, wait a minute. There's the freaking Titanic Museum in Seattle, or the Titanic exhibit in Seattle until March 16th. I was like, we should do that. And so then I was like, okay, cool. That's a way shorter drive. It's only like 300 miles versus like 1,000. So that'll be better. I'll save a ton of money. And also it's really cool. You can get a tour and you get like a glass to take home. And then I asked it, I was like, are there any other places that Elliot would like between Eugene and Seattle that we could stop along the route? And ChatGPT told me about that fucking LeMay car museum in Tacoma. So that's what we're going to do. I'm not sure what day we're going to end up actually going. It may end up being next weekend or something like that. The car museum is only open Thursday through Monday. So it's kind of a situation where I have to like shit or get off the pot, you know? So I got to like figure it out quickly. And I really honestly, like, I honestly don't know if I actually have, like, enough money to do all this stuff, but I am gonna fucking do it no matter what. If I have to, like, you know, if I have to, like, beg and borrow, it's happening, you know? I'm taking him. We're going to do something. We're going to rent a car and we're going to go do something cool. And I definitely want to stop at the coast. I want to drive, take him down the coast and stop at a few places on the coast. Oh my gosh, I think I might. Is Dragonfly in here? The passes to get into the museum's probably like $20 or something. No. The Titanic one, it's like 30 something or $40, but you get a glass. I want to get the VIP. The prices I was looking up too were for 3 people because I was trying to get Josh to go with us, but Josh doesn't want to go. He's like weird about his eyes are really bad right now. His vision is really getting worse and stuff, so he really doesn't want to go somewhere unfamiliar. And also because he's got this cataract, his vision's really like weird, and he's getting dizzy. So like sitting in a car for that long would really be a struggle for him. So like all reasons that I completely understand and empathize with, but I still think it's lame. I told him that he sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, so the pass is the price. Yeah, it's like, I think the LeMay Museum is something like $20 or something like that. It's all worth it. The cost that's going to eat me up the most is going to be the rental car because I cannot take my truck. So I have to rent a car. But I was thinking, how cool would it be to rent something that we could, one, sleep in if we need to. So I could get like a compact SUV hybrid or something like that, maybe. I don't know. I haven't really like pinned down any real like solid plans yet. All I know is that I'm gonna try to go rent a car tomorrow. And if I can't do it tomorrow, do it in whatever it is, a week or so. We'll see. he's going to try and get surgery to remove the cataracts. He just saw a retinologist last week. So now we got to go back to the cataract doctor because the retinologist says yes, he should have the surgery. So we're also waiting on a genetic test to come in the mail, and they're going to find out if his type of RP is the type that they can do gene therapy for. Apparently they have some gene therapy treatment, and it may not reverse anything, but it could stop his eyes from progressing any further, and it could theoretically make his vision better. So that would be pretty cool. My truck is like 25 years old, and I cannot afford anything happening to it, so I just wouldn't take the chance. Also, my AAA won't cover any further than 200 miles or something like that, so I don't take my truck anywhere outside of my AAA range. I did see the Zelensky-Trump exchange. That was kind of funny. Political theater. I don't care about anything Trump says because he is Israel first. Until he chooses the United States over Israel. That's why they won't release the Epstein files, just so you guys are aware. Too many mentions of Israel, and it will incriminate Israel entirely too much, in my opinion. I don't believe that the Epstein files are going to come for that reason. You know, at this point, any people that work in government who say that they're supporting Israel, like this Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, they don't actually. They're doing exactly the same thing that the left and under Biden's regime were doing, is just saying whatever you're told by the superiors, following the narrative. If you can call out everything and be all for free speech, all up until the point where you start pointing out the weird things about Israel. And then you start being called an anti-Semite because you just can't point out very glaring, obvious 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, but you know, it's just interesting how supposedly the America First Party is Israel first. It's just weird. And the reason Trump is doing all this stuff, making Americans that voted for him happy, it's to lull everybody into a false sense of security. So when he does shit like takes over Gaza, people are kind of like at odds with like what to do about it, because it's like, well, wait a minute. I mean, he's doing all this amazing stuff. Maybe we'll just let it slide, this one thing. I'd like to know how much money Jared Kushner is going to get in the Gaza resort deal. I wonder how much Trump's son-in-law stands to gain financially from any kind of bulldozing of Gaza. It's pretty interesting how a democratic republic who's staunchly against anyone taking away their rights and having freedom of choice, freedom of speech, yada, 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 are planning on going to another country and just being like, oh, you know what? Your country is mine now. I know that Israel wanted it, but now it's mine. Like, it's just really baffling. how anyone could go to a place that's occupied and like a recognized country and just be like, yeah, actually, you know what? I'm going to take it from you now. I just don't, you wouldn't want anyone to do that to you. Why are you going to do it to someone else? Doesn't seem to make any sense to me. A lot of strange things been happening, you know? A lot of strange things. But yeah, all this Trump doing everything that the voters wanted stuff, you just wait. The fucking shoe is gonna drop hard at some point where everyone is just like, oh, fuck this guy. I see, he's just another one of those fucking shysters. But with the Zelensky and Trump thing, Trump is the reason that Trump became who he is because he is a businessman and he is a very good businessman. Whether or not he actually successfully runs companies is irrelevant because his skill is in the art of making the deal. He is a fast talker and a schmoozer, and he knows how to make it happen. He knows how to get the deal done. It's all about posturing and shit like that. And he's very skilled in that. And he's very charismatic. So these things make it so that he's able to get people to agree to something that they maybe wouldn't agree to if anyone else was asking them. He knows how to find what the person who has the money he wants, or like, you know, the other person in the deal making. Let's say he's trying to get an investment. He finds out what makes that person tick. And he exploits that. He's very savvy. And I think a lot of America was able to see that today. Be like, oh yeah, Trump's not just some like fat white guy who was given all of his wealth by his dad. He was, but you know, he was able to start, and he was able to maintain his wealth and grow that wealth somehow. And it's, you know, all the things that he's been able to get his little fingers, all the pots he's been able to like dip his fingers in, you know, that takes skill. Now, do I think he's a good guy? No. But I also don't think that the person who should be our president is the kind of person that I would necessarily want to sit and have a beer with. I don't want a relatable person to be in office. I want someone who is like abundantly capable. And I'm sorry, but when it really comes down to it, the kind of person who is abundantly capable of running our country is not the kind of person who would even go to the bar on a Saturday. That's not the kind of person who would be sitting and watching a football game and having a beer with their family and friends on a fucking Thursday. They're going to be in the office working. They're going to be on business calls. They're going to be multitasking, doing things like that. That's the type of person they are, right? So like, there's just not the kind of person that you just want to hang out with. I don't want my president to be the kind of guy that I'd want to hang out with. The kind of person I want to hang out with is chill. I don't want a chill guy for a president. I want someone who can, you know, keep us safe and do fucking deals and things that I wouldn't even conceive of. Someone who is capable of performance under pressure. Okay, that's like the most important thing, is like, can somebody take the criticism and still do the job, you know, in the same way? Or are they going to be critiqued, and so changing their style every single critique they get, and so they get lost in the sauce? I think that being able to do what you need to in spite of the inevitable criticisms that you're going to get, is one of the most important skills we can have as human beings. It's a skill that people do not have. You know, they're so fucking concerned with the opinions of others. Because God knows on the internet, you know, you can't say something or you'll be canceled. Your whole fucking life will be taken from you. Your well-being, your job, your income, everything will be taken from you because one time in fucking 2001 you made an off-color joke, you know, in a fucking chat group or something. Like, it's just like the levels of, like, you know, attempts to destroy people. So, you know, with the knowledge that this is going on in the world and to still be some kind of public figure, it takes a lot of courage, and it's not for the fucking weak, that's for sure. You know, you need to have the ability to perform under criticism. You know, what is it? I can't remember the exact phrase that I like the most, but the idea is the same. You know, to continue performing at your optimum level while being criticized. It's an extremely important thing to master. Oh, my nose just cracked. Ow.
Yes, they have valet parking in the private elevator.
I bought a $30 bag of ice from Airman.
We spent over $200 on these smoothies.
$32. It just looks so bad. Like, this is the thing. Hold on. And here's my picture. Actually, I don't think we're coming back. Yeah, this is $22.
Do you like Air One?
No. That's
Like,
like,
right, but it's not good, right? The food's not good. And yes, every single time I will spend $20, $30, $40 on a smoothie. People that don't like Air One or they talk crazy about Air One remind me of people that fly economy.
I'm sorry, what's your net worth? 500K? Whole Foods is that way.
It's interesting that we normalize going out on the weekends and getting 1, 2, 3 drinks for $15, $20 each, but getting one smoothie at Air One that's super nourishing is completely outrageous.
Which in turn benefit not only our soil, but water, plants, animals, and humans.
I got Air One smoothie with beef organs in it.
This smoothie has vegans, vegetarians, and even smoothie lovers questioning everything because of animal organs mixed into it. What's your favorite Air One snack?
I love the smoothies.
Using this ketone tote from Citizens and Community and their partnership with Kissing Around Cotton. It's a limited edition tote which all airlines with cotton grown entirely using regenerative farming.
Oh, sorry. It's okay. Bag of organic wool socks broke my fall.
You guys got it all wrong and twisted. This is not the tote life.
We have ascended to a higher level of eco-coolness, okay, pal? Ooh, are these new?
hello.
Elephant eye activity?
Environmental Protection Agency? Sir, can you please tell me what all these bags are for?
Oh, you came here to learn about...
$49.99 balsamic vinegar, $88 sea moss gel, $23.99 camel milk, and $43 vanilla extract. These insane items I just listed are just the tip of the Air One iceberg. Out of touch influencers post a lot of insane content, but one of the craziest and most ridiculous trends in 2024 was definitely the TikTok Air One hauls. And they're still going on heavily right now.
What I bought and how much I spent at Air One in LA. So this place is known to be very expensive and health focused. For example, this water was $26. I'm just buying a few specialty items. It's my first time shopping here. I found this local raw honey for $12 to use in my matcha. Walking around was really pleasant and the shelves were stacked very nicely. I picked up this fermented black garlic that you can eat raw and is supposed to be very good for you. And then I also got this blue sea moss because I've been seeing it all over social media. Then I visited their huge wall of vitamins and got these lion's mane mushroom gummies, ashwagandha because I wanted to give it a try, and then some more vitamins to help me sleep on my flight later. As you can see, I really didn't get much, but my total ended up being $204 for only 7 items.
In the end, my cart looked kind of scarce, but it still came out to $196. And of course, I couldn't forget to get their strawberry glazed smoothie. It's one of the best things I've ever put in my mouth. Okay, that's it. Love you so much. Goodbye.
But I'm making this video to remind you guys that no matter how many of these videos you see, do not do the Erewhon shipping to all 50 states. Do not get it online. It's not worth it. Just go to Whole Foods and call it a night. This video is here to remind you guys that expensive does not equal good. A lot of you guys are probably, thankfully, well aware of this concept, but in 2025, a lot of people are falling for all the hype around overpriced products. In 2025, all you have to do to be a successful brand is make a mediocre product, quadruple the price for absolutely no reason, make bank, and then use that bank to have the most dishonest people on the internet peddle your products. And then ride off into the sunset with billions of dollars. Now, if you have absolutely no idea what Erewhon is the most expensive grocery store in the United States. This grocery store basically makes shopping at Whole Foods look like shopping at Walmart. People like to defend Erewhon by saying that Erewhon is healthier than Whole Foods, but
Whole Foods is like shopping at Walmart.
And Erewhon customers like to look down at Whole Foods customers like peasants. Now let me just lead into this whole Erewhon topic with this video of a girl getting food poisoning after eating Erewhon in order to really tell you guys that Erewhon is not more special than any other store. You can get food poisoning from Chipotle, like I did, and I'm still mad about that. And you can get food poisoning at Erewhon. I'm just a girl in the world. And also, guys, thank you so much for all of your amazing support on all my new commentary videos. And seriously, thank you guys all so much for watching, liking, commenting. And I really can't thank you guys enough for all these nice comments and for subscribing. And if you aren't already subscribed, please make sure to hit the subscribe button right now. And while you're there, please like the video and comment road to 10K. And it's insane because we're already almost at 10,000 subscribers, which is just mind-boggling to me because as we speak, we're only a few hundred away from 10,000. Also, before we get back into the influencer Erewhon insanity, comment what you guys think our YouTube community should be called. You guys are saying Phillies, Joys, and a lot of great suggestions, so drop your favorite name for the community in the comments. In my last video about Medicube and how the Booster Pro, which is a Korean glass skincare device, allegedly caused nerve damage and facial paralysis, Hailey Bieber was one of the celebrities who made Medicube skincare so insanely viral on TikTok in the first place. In this video, Hailey is back yet again because she has an exclusive $20 smoothie sold at Erewhon.
Guys, we're at Erewhon and Hailey and Bieber here.
But guys, seriously, don't let all these influencers who are already rich, yet get hordes of free stuff day after day, influence you into breaking the bank and thinking that a $20 smoothie is worth it. And I'll get into how you can easily make this at home. Honestly,
that far.
And please don't sign up for a credit card.
That far back, Heather. Fuck.
Just because Hailey Bieber and Michaela Negrera told you. Okay, that was actually supposed to be a joke about Michaela, but I was hoping she wouldn't yet again tie into the topic for today. But no, I actually searched Erewhon Michaela on TikTok, and this video came up.
I have to try this Erewhon place that everybody talks
So
about.
fucking
Listen,
much
this was
work.
the most beautiful
Oh,
grocery
Heather.
store I have ever seen in my life. Every inch of this store was displayed so beautifully. And everything was ridiculously expensive. They had every drink you could imagine. I kind of wish I had a place like this near where I lived because it was sick. Obviously, I got a bunch of stuff to try, including the famous Erewhon smoothie. Obviously, I need to
I'm not doing anything wrong, and I just did all that for nothing.
This is the most expensive grocery store in Los Angeles. I consider it a tourist attraction. I love the Hailey Bieber smoothie, so I have to try Sabrina's. We got one of each. Her smoothie is this bright blue color. It's got oat milk, mango, honey, pineapple, coconut cream, strawberries, collagen. And you can't just go to Erewhon and get a smoothie. You gotta get something from the hot bag.
So yeah, Michaela, you're not beating any of the out of touch allegations anytime soon because every single out of touch influencer video she somehow is linked to. By the way, guys, Michaela also promoted Medicube skincare, but I wanted to ease off her in the last video. Because my toxic trait is feeling bad for Michaela because everybody's just like, she's out of touch, she's out of touch. But I'm sorry, Michaela, but you are the one posting this, not me. I'm just the messenger. And if you guys are wondering what could influencers possibly get out of these Erewhon hauls, maybe the food is actually that good. And maybe it's worth the price. Maybe the $50 balsamic vinegar is actually great. Yeah, no. It's just for the luxury status of shopping at Erewhon. And it's just for the clout and the views. Erewhon food is a lot of the times not that bad, and some people think that it's genuinely good. But every single store you can go to, you can get good food or get food from the store and make tasty food. It's like Erewhon food is basically just regular food, quadrupled the price, so that the people buying it feel better than everyone else, and then they feel like elite. From what I've seen, Erewhon isn't disgusting or anything. It's just mint.
Yeah, that's so good. It's definitely not the best I've ever had, but they're still really good. That is so good. It's like a pineapple orange juice. Is the best way I would describe it.
Right, this is what $135 gets you an Erewhon. It's starting out strong with some $9 buffalo cauliflower for like 7 pieces. Woohoo, what a steal. Okay, then we had a sushi sandwich. Oh my god, I've recorded this 5 times and I still can't say it. Moving on. This was $21.99, obviously mid, obviously not worth it. I found $40 sea moss and $14 water. I ended up spending $112 on 4 items. I've never tried sea moss in my life. It smelled like nothing, but it was kind of pretty in like a goopy way. And I swear it tastes just like tap water, like when you drink it right out of the tap, and it has a weird flavor, kind of like dirty sink water. It's not horrible, and apparently it has a bunch of health benefits. You already know I had to try Hailey Bieber's $18 strawberry glazed skin smoothie, which has avocados and sea moss, but really it just kind of tastes like a strawberry smoothie from like Planet Smoothie or something. And onto the hot food. This box was $30. The mini smash burger alone was $9, but it had like caramelized onions and Gruyere cheese and this like house-made organic burger sauce. It had a lot of components, and the patties were pretty crispy. It was like garlicky. The lady said I had to try the rice balls, which definitely could have had more salt, but they had this like sticky sweet teriyaki sauce on the outside that was pretty yummy. And this $27 box of fruit might have been the biggest ripoff of the day because the mangoes were hard, like not juicy at all. And the kiwi was like slimy and old, like on the verge of going bad, kind of mushy. Not the best dragon fruit I've had either. It was just not super sweet. You can get the same quality of fruit at Walmart for way cheaper. Oh yeah, and the $14 water tasted like nothing, like no flavor at all, which I guess is kind of what you want out of water. I don't know.
I don't think I'll be going back to Erewhon after this. Here's an honest black review of Erewhon and their food. This is my first time ever walking into Erewhon, and the first thing I see is water being sold for $11. The one thing I will say was it looks so aesthetic, it looks so clean, it made me just want everything off the shelves. And they just have so many options, like this is just the season. Well, we're here to try the food, so here were the 3 things that I ended up getting. And low-key, I thought it was going to be more expensive, but I only ended up spending $21. I'm not going to lie, I thought the food would look a little bit more appetizing like the chicken, but truly, it's how it tastes, so let's taste it. Well, I'm going to be rating the 3 items that I got up on the screen right here, and now it's time for the chicken. I'm not going to lie, it just looks so bland, like, where's the seasoning? Hold on. And here's my friend's reaction eating her food. I don't think we're coming back.
But let's deep dive into just what on earth is going on with Erewhon. How did all this nonsense start in the first place with all this camel milk and crazy $80 sea moss gel, and just what on earth is going on? Actually, what in the stratosphere is going on, because clearly no one shopping at Erewhon is on planet Earth. Some people go there once in their life just for ha-has and be like, oh my goodness, $80 vinegar. But I'm going to get into how there's a ton of influencers on TikTok literally fighting to the death in the comments to justify Erewhon's prices and justify that Erewhon is better than Whole Foods when it's literally not. And side note, yes, Whole Foods was always like, oh, Whole Foods is expensive. But Whole Foods genuinely sells healthy foods that you cannot find at like other stores, like Walmart, for example. There's buckwheat flour, red lentils. Like now, I'm pretty sure that more stores sell that. But back like 6 years ago, only Whole Foods had that kind of thing. Erewhon takes things way too far, which I'll just get into. And the reason why I've already known that Erewhon is just like mid-regular food is because a while ago, me and my husband were binge-watching Good Mythical Morning, and Rhett and Link tasted Erewhon, and they basically said it was a bunch of overpriced hoopla. And if 2 insanely rich people whose net worth is allegedly $50 million are telling us that Erewhon is just mid, I think we should believe them. Personally, I don't have any type of money to be flying thousands of miles to be buying some bland mac and cheese, so I'll gladly take their review at face value. In my crumble cookie video, I said I might drive the hour to get the nearest crumble and try one, but I'm telling you right now, no matter where my life takes me, it will never take me to Erewhon. Erewhon is literally just a social experiment to see how dumb people can be and how people can justify buying $80 vinegar. The current CEO of Erewhon is just finessing us. Everybody's just falling for it. So you will just find me at Trader Joe's with their $2 food. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys what they had to say about Erewhon on the Canceled podcast, but this video just left me absolutely speechless. In the video, they talk about an Erewhon smoothie that contains colostrum, and if you know what colostrum is, that is just nasty. I looked into this, and they're talking about the $21 Sophia Richie smoothie that contains cow colostrum, so it's not actual human colostrum, which is good, but still messed up.
Do you like Erewhon?
No. Absolutely not. Like, right? Like, it's not good, right? The food's not good.
I don't think so.
really like.
Oh, you love
I'm
it?
really in an Erewhon.
Oh, I had
but
a phase.
I like despise how expensive it is.
I love the
Crazy.
smoothies. Like I love going in and getting a smoothie, and I don't love paying $4,000 in a gold brick for it.
It's
but
crazy.
the food, I feel like all of their food to me tastes like it needs something, and to me, I'm like,
No seasoning.
yeah, like $30 for this, and like it. You know what I mean? Even like
Yeah.
the meats and stuff, like the way the chicken's cooked, I'm like,
No, it is kind of weird. I used to like their breakfast croissants, but it's just like a little too big. The smoothies are crazy though because they're not safe for pregnant people. Like I
Why?
commented on Erewhon when was it, I think Olivia Rodrigo when she came out with hers. We were gonna do it for our Patreon because like Oscar loves Olivia Rodrigo, so I was like, let's go try her smoothie. So I saw all the ingredients and I saw like a couple things where I'm like, maybe I can't have this as like whatever. So I wrote to the Erewhon people. It's like in the comments. I'm like, oh, can you have this if you're like pregnant? And they're like, well, we don't recommend this, this, and this. They're like harmful for babies when pregnant. I'm like, well, if you can't have it when you're pregnant, like why would you want it when you're not pregnant?
Yeah,
But basically there was
that's
like
kinda crazy.
5 ingredients like pregnant people can't have.
Isn't there one with like colostrum in it?
Maybe
What's
that was
colostrum?
it.
Colostrum. It's like I'm pretty sure it's like what comes out of your boobs like right when you give birth. I could have made that up. And like
I believe
literally,
you.
it's like in the smoothie.
How do they get it?
I don't know.
But just a quick look into the cow colostrum Erewhon smoothie will tell you that cow colostrum has absolutely 0 proven health benefits for humans. But Erewhon will put this into the smoothie and say, oh my goodness, it's gonna like make your skin so clear, it's gonna make your skin clearer than the Medicube device. Let's think for a second why cow colostrum has no benefits for humans. Oh yeah, because it's made for 1-day-old baby cows. Like milk is made for baby cows, but colostrum is made for newborn baby cows. Like we have lost the plot, Erewhon. We are completely jumping species from human to cow and adult to baby and stealing cow colostrum from cows that just gave birth and stealing it from the baby cows to put it in the Erewhon smoothies. And yes, every single grocery store involves animal cruelty because they literally sell meat. But Erewhon is supposed to be the best, most sustainable, most friendly, environmentally friendly store on the planet. But what is happening?
Which in turn benefit not only our soil, but water, plants, animals, and humans.
And I'm not vegan or vegetarian, and I am lactose intolerant, but I still eat ice cream. But I'm just pointing out all this to expose how ridiculous Erewhon is and how they put the veil over everyone's eyes into saying that they're just so non-cruelty, non-this, non-that. And it's just not true. Now, another thing I want to point out about Erewhon that is just so ridiculous is that all the Erewhon influencers love to tell us that Erewhon produce is the absolute healthiest, most non-pesticide, non-GMO food like on the planet. It is just like the ambrosia of food. But Erewhon is literally only located in Los Angeles, California. And I'm not trying to hate on Los Angeles or anything. If you're from Los Angeles, I'm sorry, but this is just, I just have to say this. LA is the #1 city in the United States with the worst ozone.
You know, Erewhon, for us to educate our customers and tell that story that we planted our own seeds. We're growing our own squash, plant blossoms. It's an amazing story.
Don't forget the radioactive soil.
These beautiful squash, there's probably 4 or 5 different varieties that we're growing here. This is Cinegrow Farms in Moore Park, literally in our backyard, about as local as you can get as far as growing organic produce. Once it's ready to harvest, it's our intention to prepare it several different ways for our customers. We'll also be selling this beautiful produce, hyper local organic produce in our produce departments in Erewhon's as well.
That man is fat.
It's really amazing.
How are you going to be telling people about health food and you're fat?
Which is linked to higher levels of asthma, lung cancer, birth complications, and premature death. And where am I getting this information from? The Journal of Toxicology in the National Library of Medicine. So if you are buying an apple from Erewhon in California and you're saying that there's no toxic chemicals on it, I'm pretty sure the Erewhon apple would be more toxic because you're literally in LA. But there's toxicity everywhere. Every single air is polluted. But you guys know what I mean. And I have been to California, and again, no offense to any California natives, I'm sorry, but you could literally see the dustiness in the air in California. And no, not because it's a desert. I have been to Arizona, and how is LA dustier than Arizona? And I went to the beach in LA, and 2 weeks later, they announced that the water was unsuitable for swimming. You couldn't have told me that when I was in the water. All the influencers justifying them paying $100 for a bag of apples at Erewhon and $30 ice and saying that Erewhon is just the healthiest, most purest store in the world. They really need to just leave LA and breathe fresh air for the first time in their lives. A lot of my favorite YouTubers moved to LA and they immediately moved back out of LA because they said that it was just a terrible experience. And I feel like LA is really just like the influencer pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but there is no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. LA just sells you this dream that's like the best place on earth, but it's really not. But genuinely, everybody promoting Erewhon on TikTok, they need to just be honest and say that they're just doing it for the likes, views, and attention. There's actually no benefit of the $16.99 eggs versus just regular eggs at Trader Joe's or whatever else. And if they really cared that much about, oh yeah, these eggs were so sustainable, these eggs were so non-animal cruelty, and I'm sure that they're not, seeing what they do with the cows for the colostrum smoothies. For one trip to Erewhon, I saw this video, like my $1,000 trip to Erewhon, and it was like a little cart of stuff. You could literally buy an entire chicken coop, a bunch of chickens, and lay eggs every week for the amount of money that it would take to go to Erewhon one time.
Yeah, Chris.
About eggs and no pesticides.
We sure did.
A vegetable garden at that point. Literally saying,
but, you know,
plant a vegetable garden. And I've also
don't
seen
ever
tons of
let that
videos on
shit
TikTok
fool
of
you.
people
It's
saying
all
that anyone
political
who says that they'll
theater.
never shop at Erewhon are just haters and just broke, and then they're just jealous of Erewhon shoppers. I can safely say
Everybody knows that
could pay for Erewhon eggs, but they're not
Zelensky
going to.
was
Anything
put into power by the United States
use
through
it
a
on the
coup.
and buy eggs for like, well, eggs are very expensive right now, so you might get set back like $9 for eggs, but that's not the point. Buy $9 eggs and use the rest of the $7 for something else. And I'll also get into how
I was
Erewhon
painting.
sells the same products at other grocery stores.
I was painting today the first time when I heard the argument. And so I just was listening to it, and I wasn't watching it because I was actively painting. And so I didn't realize until later in the day when I went back and watched it again, that was fucking JD Vance and Donald Trump with Zelensky. I thought it was Donald Trump, one of our representative people, not just a translator, but the foreign whatever minister person, whatever the person, the go-between is, whatever. And then I thought that the person speaking was Zelensky's translator. I didn't realize that it was Zelensky himself speaking. And so when I went back, and I was just like, oh shit, that's even funnier. The fact that it was the vice president telling him, you should say thank you. But, Zelensky's not expecting any of that because, he's been inflated through all these Vogue shoots and everything. His ego is, way huge right now. That's what, and you gotta realize, he's an actor. He's literally an actor. He played in a show. He was a Netflix actor, and in that show, he played a fucking actor who what played the president. He pretended to be a president, but he was really the actor. And all the wacky hijinks that he got into because he was really an actor and not actually a political official at all. That's the show that Vladimir Zelensky was on when he booked the job of president of Ukraine for the United States. Also, there are images from way back when, I think 1999, of Zelensky and his right-hand man, his head of his cabinet or whatever, and they were in Pride. They were in NYC for Pride Parade, and they were full on dressed in kink gear with, yeah. Anyway, go look that photo up. That's a real prize. Can't unsee that. But yeah, this is all political theater, man. It's all just show. All just show. Damn it, I cannot believe I unraveled all that. I thought I fucked up, but I didn't. I was just my brain was in the wrong place. I hope I can rent a fucking car tomorrow. I hope that they will rent me a car. I haven't ever tried to rent a car before, so I don't know if I'll like get approved or not.
Americans and soon to be Americans. There's peace in Ukraine. It's happening, bro. It's happening. They're actually doing it. Peace deal reached between Russia and Ukraine, and Zelensky's flying to the USA to sign the peace deal made by President Trump. Details. United States gets 50% of the revenue from Ukraine's mineral wealth as repayment for the money spent on the war. Perfectly fair and appropriate. America did a favor to them by giving them money. It makes sense for them to get at least somewhat paid back. That's crazy. No membership to NATO. I know that everyone called me like a fool, but I always said that this was going to happen. Russia. The reason why Russia started the war was because they were afraid Ukraine was going to have membership in NATO. That's why they started the war. They would never ever make peace and let that happen. Ukraine concedes territory. That was also never gonna stop because Russia is a bully. They're a bully. They're assholes and bullies, and they conquered an area. They're not gonna give it back. In Russia's mind, Ukraine always belonged to Russia, so there is no way they are ever gonna give that back. I feel like this is a good deal, honestly, to stop the war. Now, a lot of people are upset. A lot of people are furious, fuming, cooking, furious. Oh my God, Trump, you're the bad guy because Putin's the bad guy and Ukraine is the victim, and therefore Ukraine needs to get more, and Ukraine needs. Let me be real here for a second, okay? Let me be honest. Everyone complaining about this does not live in reality. You are not living in reality. This outcome was always gonna happen. Literally always gonna happen. Like, these people are actually retards. The people that are upset about this. Guys, yes, Russia was the aggressor. They invaded Ukraine, but they're also bullies, and they needed to get glazed enough to stop the war. This will cause millions
You would
of
think
lives
that you
to be
notice
saved,
the similarity between Israel and Ukraine in this instance, but probably because you have a dual citizenship with Israel, you won't see that. Sometimes this creator pisses me off.
conceding to make peace. You are willing to cause endless suffering and death with the inevitable
He's still funny though,
outcome
so I listen to him.
literally being exactly this. I don't like that Trump wasn't willing to say that, Putin invaded Ukraine and stuff like that. I don't like it. But I'm going to be real. I do think that was the necessary evil, the necessary glazing it took to get Putin to stop causing millions of deaths. Now, again, maybe I'm an idiot here, and I actually see things logically, as opposed to all these absolute idiots that just sit there seeing black and white. Oh, good. Oh, bad. Oh, good. Oh, bad. Oh, the good guy is taking an L? Wow. How can you let the good guy take an L? You know what? Sometimes good guys take L's, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Ukraine's not a good guy.
Take that L to prevent yourself from a much bigger L in the future. All right?
You're tiptoeing on losing my viewership forever.
Were killed, and that is stopping because Trump was willing to glaze a bully. In my opinion, this is a massive dub. And yes, you see people absolutely crying and upset. I can't believe Trump would do this. I can't believe Trump would glaze Putin. You're never supposed to praise the bad guy. But I'm going to be real. Bro's a peacemaker. He saved millions of lives. And yes, all it took was him saying some things that made you a little upset. And to be honest, that is a small fucking price to pay. Again, not calling Ukraine the good guy here, but they are definitely the victim. 100%. Russia was never going to let them join NATO. They were never going to give back territory. United States deserves payment for all the money that was spent on Ukraine. And in my humble opinion, yes, Trump looks like the bad guy by not being willing to...
It was all about the minerals.
Putin, but I think that's what caused peace. Now, everyone is...
That's what the coup was for.
Trump just signed new executive orders in the Oval Office, and every time he signs executive orders, he is the most transparent president of all time. The most transparent president. He's orange. You can see through it. He tells you whatever he thinks. Cry out Trump. Cry out Trump. Every 4 years he comes back again. He's so large and crazy. The price of peace was big, but so is my penis. Everyone's happy, except for Zelensky. But that's okay, because fuck anyone that's not orange. That's probably what he said. So anyway, I didn't actually see this happen. I didn't see the new executive orders yet, but I'm excited. I'm locked in. All right, let's see what we got.
They're suing all our companies. And if that's going to happen, we want to be the ones that sue, not them. And they use it almost as a form of running European countries, and the EU in particular has been very violent in its lawsuits against our companies, and frankly, very violent and very bad to our airlines.
Yeah, there he is. Trump stops 2 wars and gets sued. My man! My guy! Yeah!
I've gotten calls from the heads of airlines saying they stop in Europe and they're getting charged all sorts of taxes that they never even heard of. They stop and they're getting fined and charged. And
I'm taking predictions, by the way. I'm taking predictions. How long is it taking until America and Europe are at war? What's your predictions? I'm saying 10 years. I'm predicting 10 years, and America and Europe will not be allies at all. All right, That's the predictions, all right? It's gonna be crazy.
That's because we're going to be aligned with Israel, and Israel's going to make enemies across the globe.
Why would we go to war? Oh, foolish chatters! Oh, foolish chat. No, I just say shit. Are you aware that I just say shit? Don't pay any attention to that. But in 10 years, come back.
Country, so we're stopping it. And we have another thing, we have another step to go, and if they don't shape up, as an example, Apple has had to pay like $17 billion in a lawsuit that nobody thought was worth anything.
Oh, shit.
And I won't get into the judge or the decision or how the decision was arrived, but I'm pretty good at this stuff, and I think it's disgraceful. And Google's being sued, Facebook's being sued, and many others are being sued by their so-called government, if you call it a government, EU, and they don't treat us right. They don't treat us right as a country. So we're going to protect our companies. We have to protect our companies. So we're not going to have any companies left anymore.
Wow, a president that actually cares about the companies and the country that's unbelievable. I've never seen something like that before. Gold card? Yeah, apparently he talks about a gold card in this. I have no idea what's going on.
I also want to thank Apple, though, for announcing they're going to invest $500 billion in our country. That's the biggest investment anybody's probably made to this date.
God damn!
And they're going to do it very quickly, and that's because of tariffs. They don't want to pay the tariffs, and they feel very strongly about the country now. They wouldn't have done it without us. Without the Trump administration, they wouldn't have done it, but they feel very strongly about the direction of the country. The polls have shown that too. The polls are coming out showing direction of the company is the best, of the country is the best they've ever seen, actually.
That's incredible, dude. Oh my God. When the big companies are actually investing in America, that's how you know. That's how you know it's real. Because the big companies, see, it's so funny. I love this argument so much. It's like, dude, if the big companies are putting massive amounts of money into something, then they fucking know what's gonna happen. It's like all the climate change, global warming people that say that the ocean levels are gonna rise 10 meters in the next like 5 years. Dog, then why is the bank giving loans to beachfront property? Okay, if the banks don't believe it, then it's probably not true. All right, they're the shadow government. They're the Jews that control the weather, or whatever the fuck the conspiracy theorists are saying. All right. If the banks are giving loans on beachfront property, they will not go underwater. I am just saying, you can always trust the multi-billionaire giga companies to understand what's actually going on in the world literally better than anybody else. I know. Hot take. Did you hear that Apple iPhones are replacing the word Trump with racist? Wait, what?
Racist.
What?
Racist.
Oh my God.
Racist. Racist.
We just duplicated this on 3 phones. Other people are able to duplicate it. It may be what updates people have. Some people are not duplicating it. Sean, you did it on your phone.
Bro, you know what I love? I love when Alex Jones is right. Okay? Because that dude, he sounds like a complete retard half the time. But when he's right, it's incredible. Dude, what?
Racist.
That's insane. Oh my. Dude, hold up. What the fuck? Okay, I'm shocked. Subliminal control? Dude, that's insane.
Racist.
Yeah, this is not a coincidence or an accident. They're gonna get mega cooked. Holy fuck. Alright.
Best they've ever seen. So I just want to thank Tim Cook and Apple for...
Why were people trying this? Dude, they were literally just saying racist in the text-to-speech, and that's what happened. You know what? I'm gonna try it on my iPhone right now. God damn it. I'm gonna try it right now. Okay, my VTuber model guy's gonna freeze because I use my phone to do the VTuber thingy. Alright. Racist. Yeah, no, it didn't happen. Racist. Yep, didn't happen. Didn't happen, but we tried it. We did it for science. We did it for science. Obviously, it's not going to be every iPhone. I never update my shit. It's probably not a good thing that I never update my shit, but I never update my shit. Because if I'm always figuring if it's working for me, Why update it? I'm just saying. Why not have a second phone? I have a second phone, but it's not an iPhone. Well, it's apparently some people in my chat are having that. Oh my God, half my chat are saying that it's happening to them. All right, we'll see. I'm not on the newest iOS. My iOS is old.
The confidence, $500 billion. That's the biggest investment anyone has made in a short period of time.
Mr. President, have you spoken today with the House Republican holdouts who said they would not be supporting the budget resolution?
Well, I'm not involved in that. They know what I want, and the Senate knows what I want too. And the Senate's got a bill that's very strong, having to do with the taxes, because the taxes is what's bringing all these companies in. So,
all right.
And without it, by the way, you'd have to double your own taxes. Everybody would be doubled up.
It's insane how he literally talked about how he's going to be bringing jobs and businesses back to America before he ran, and everyone was like, "What? No, it's happening! It's happening! You could call him orange, but you can't call him a liar."
Or you'd have the biggest tax
Well,
increase.
you could call him a liar, but honestly, at least he was honest about 99% of the shit that he's been talking about.
Ever. So the House has a bill and the Senate has a bill, and I'm looking at them both, and I'll make decisions. But I don't know where they are in the vote. I know the Senate's doing very well, and the House is doing very well. But each one of them has things that I like. So we'll see if we can come together.
Mr. President, can you clarify, hopefully once and for all, what your expectations are with this email to federal employees?
Oh my God, the Doge people! I told you, it's every single time. It takes a few seconds, and until the Doge people show up. Hey guys, the Doge people, Elon is sending emails that people have to show that they actually worked in the last week. Oh no!
What are you going to use that information for? And do you see it as voluntary, like OPM has said, or mandatory?
Yeah, well, it's somewhat voluntary, but it's also if you don't answer, I guess you get fired.
I guess that's what. Oh my God! I love how this is like crazy. Can we all just come together for a minute and recognize the fact that if you're a fucking employee, literally anywhere, and your boss asks you for a weekly update, literally a weekly update, and you have a meltdown, then you're a retard. Holy shit. He's just asking what you did in the last week. This is not a big deal. This is the type of shit every employee everywhere does. Why are government employees, free to not actually do shit because somehow they're paid by taxpayers or are paying for them? Why is that appropriate?
What it is do people exist? We have this massive government with millions of people, and nobody knows who's working for the government, who's not.
True!
So what they're doing is they're sending out a letter to everybody, and they're saying, what were the things you did last week? I guess they asked for 5.
I love how he's explaining it like you talk to a child, because it's the most basic, bitch, normal human shit, but people are absolutely losing it on Twitter.
And if people are working, it's easy. I could tell you 5 things I did last week. I could tell you 5 things I did 6 weeks ago, right? If they're there and they're working, they're able to say they did.
Yeah, it's no problem. This is literally no problem, unless, of course, you're scamming the government.
5 things during work. And that means they're working and they're with us and they have no further obligation. If they're not, it could be there's no such person. It could be that the person's no longer working. They're no longer living at that address. They may be moved. Maybe they moved to a different country, or maybe the person doesn't exist. And we then take that person off the payroll, and we save a lot of money by doing that.
He's completely correct. He's literally completely correct. There is no reason why people are freaking out about this. I just think they hate Elon and they hate Trump, so they're somehow trying to twist it into a bad thing. But why even the leftists that are freaking out about this just because they're completely in their own little echo chambers, how on earth can you defend people being employed and paid by American tax dollars that can't list 5 things that they've done in the last week? How on earth anyone actually working could do that? Okay? I upload 3 videos a day on YouTube, okay? All right? I uploaded 21 videos to YouTube in the last week. All right? I can tell you that I did that. Like, what is happening? And that's aside from a fuck ton of other business deals and meetings and shit that I've done.
But that's one of the only ways. I think it's a very smart thing. And it says, if you don't answer, essentially, there's a penalty to pay. Like, that's the end of the job.
Musk has said that. The order itself doesn't say that. I think that's part of the confusion. Is he speaking for you when he says?
Yeah. Everybody speaks for me. I'm the one that'll take responsibility. The old statement, the buck stops here, right? Famous statement. Well, I can say the same thing. The buck stops here. No, we have to find out if people are getting paid and they're not working. And, they have a problem. Let's say they have another job. And then they write in false statements. It's a big problem if they write in false statements.
He's right. That's fraud. It's weeding out fraud, and it's weeding out incompetent people that should not be hired by the government. I completely, literally support that 100%. And anyone that's upset about this is either 100% audience captured, or, either completely in an echo chamber, or they like fraud. It's one or the other.
Working for somebody else, but getting paid by the U.S. government. And that would mean that they're not allowed to be doing that. They're not allowed to be working for us and be working for somebody else. We're paying them a lot of money. We're paying them. So we'll see.
Dude, if everyone speaks for me, did he call out the media for putting words in his mouth? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's what he was actually saying, but yeah. I do have to say, for me personally, if it turned out that I'm employing several people, and one of my, let's say my editors for my YouTube videos, okay? Let's say one of my editors doesn't do any work, but I'm giving him a paycheck, all right? I say, which videos have you edited in the last week? I uploaded 21 videos, all right, over 2 channels, and I ask him, hey, what is going on? What videos have you edited over the last week? And they're not willing to tell me. They're getting fired immediately. They're not getting paid if they didn't edit any videos. I'm sorry. That's just life. That's just normal reality. But somehow, I don't know how it happened, but somehow the government got so bloated. You have so many workers, the COVID stay-at-home people that aren't willing to go into to their office to actually do their job. They're so entitled, literally so entitled to my tax money. It's despicable and gross. And anyone that's not willing to accept this, in my opinion, is just a retard. Now, most of the time, when I have a take and I have an opinion, I give you every right to disagree with my opinion. You can say, Nux, blue guy, I like you. I think you're kind of fun, but I don't agree with what you have to say here. And normally I respect that. But if you disagree with this take, I think you personally, on a personal level, are a retard. Definitely subscribe and stick around. But I personally think you're demented. Moving on.
Solves that problem. Most people
I just make people angry. I've noticed this is not a good business practice for me. But no, with all honesty, I think you have a problem.
Aren't willing to say that we're doing this, and this for the U.S. government, and yet they're at another job, because that's a big problem for them if they do that. So in some cases, they're not writing back, and if they don't write back, they end up eventually losing their job. We give them extensions.
Listen, the funny thing is, I do think that every system needs balance, but I am definitely leaning a lot more to capitalism than socialism. Basic capitalism is, I give you some money for your goods. All right? Basic bitch shit. If I am paying you, you do the job I am paying you for. And if you can't prove to me that you are doing a job for my money, then retard, get a job somewhere else. Go work as a gender-neutral dance coach in Afghanistan, or whatever USAID was paying for.
That was something we thought about a long time ago. We give them extensions, but we'll see. We have to make sure, number one, that we have people. Number two, that they're working. And number two, they're working for us, not for another company.
He's right. Ooh, Zelensky, here we go. Put the fries in the brag, Zelensky. Okay, all right, let's see.
Is the mineral deal sorted out? Yeah, I hear that. I hear that he's coming on Friday. Certainly, it's okay with me if he'd like to. And he would like to sign it together with me. And I understand that's a big deal, very big deal.
Bros brought peace, and they're calling him the villain because his rhetoric pissed them off. Let's I want to phrase this in the most realistic way possible. Bro brought peace, and they're upset because his rhetoric pissed them off. That's what happened.
And I think the American people, even if you look at polling, they're very happy because, you know, Biden was throwing money around like it's cotton candy. And
unless this is only the mineral deal, in which case, hell yeah, America!
It's a very big deal. It could be $1 trillion deal. It could be whatever, but it's rare earths and other things. And look, we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars on Ukraine and Russia fighting a war that should have never ever happened. That's a war.
A war that never would have started if I was president, which, to be honest, he's right.
That would have never happened if I were president.
How did I know? Don't say pre-watched, okay? That is not pre-watched, okay? Shut up. That was not a pre-watch vote. He just says that every time, okay? Listen. It never would have happened. I won all 7 swing states. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. All 7 swing states. Never would have happened. Highest in the polls. 4% acceptance rate. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. You know what I'm talking about.
And it didn't happen for 4 years. People say, how do we know that?
That's my God.
It didn't happen for 4 years. Would have never happened. And nevertheless, this guy went into this situation and he spent money like nobody's ever seen. $350 billion. The other thing that we don't like.
Yeah, I just want to show you this because I have people in my chat say, no, it happened anyway. All right, so, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. My opinion on Russia-Ukraine is the only correct opinion. Now, you have the right to another one. It's just an incorrect opinion. I don't know why I'm so fucking sassy today. It's not healthy for my business here. I should not be this sassy. But let me be real here. Russia always wanted Ukraine. They always saw Ukraine as part of Russia, the part that got away. They always wanted to capture Ukraine. This literally always was a thing that they wanted. When Trump was in office, bro was a madman with a big fucking red button. They didn't want to do shit when Trump was in office. Then, all of a sudden, Biden comes into office. Ukraine wants to join NATO, which is a group of countries literally surrounding Russia and threatening them in specific ways. And Biden said this. Biden said this. So I'm going to show you this little Biden clip, and you'll tell me, all right?
Russia will be held accountable if it invades, and it depends on what it does.
What do you mean it depends on what Russia does?
Thing if it's a minor incursion, and then we end up having a fight about what to do and not do, etc. But if they actually do what
he says, if it's a minor incursion, it's okay. So let's get this straight. Ukraine wants to join NATO. Russia always wanted to attack Ukraine to conquer it. Biden, the president of the United States, says that if Russia does a minor incursion, it's okay. Yeah, no fucking little shit in a basket. Russia's gonna use this as a moment to actually fucking invade Ukraine. No fucking shit. Now Trump's in office, all right? Russia's never gonna go back. They're never.
For someone who seems to be so updated and into politics and what's going on, this guy is just. I think it's an intentional. Like, I don't think it's just that it's ignorance. I think that it's intentional, feigned ignorance.
Yes, he glazes Putin, and it's disgusting, and it hurts me to think about that he's glazing the obvious invader here. But he has to glaze Putin because you have to make a bully happy to get the bully to feel like they won. They could turn around to their country and be like, look, guys, we won. I'm going to be real. That's what's happening. And there's no other way to interpret it. I'm just objectively correct here. I think that, yes, it's sad that Ukraine is the victim here in this situation and that they're not getting some sort of big justice or whatever. But ultimately, millions of lives are going to be saved because of this. And we'll see what happens. But ultimately, I think Ukraine should become the 51st state, them in Canada, all 195 states of America. It's going to be crazy.
Is that
the United Continents of America, Planet America, we're calling it.
Europe has spent $100 billion. We've spent $350 billion. Europe gets their money back because they spent it in the form of a loan, and we just gave them, whether it's 300 or 350 billion, nobody really knows. They can't even tell me the answer to that. But
that's crazy that he doesn't even know the amount of. No one knows. That's insane that no one knows how much money was given there.
Means probably more than that. So what we're doing is now we're saying, look, we want to be secured. We want to get that money back. We're helping a country through a very, very big problem, a problem like very few people have had. Shouldn't have had this problem because it shouldn't have
Wouldn't have happened if I was president.
happened, but it did happen. So we have to straighten it out. But the American taxpayer now is going to get their money back plus.
Mr. President, yesterday with Emmanuel Macron, you said you had spoken to Putin about the idea of peacekeepers in Ukraine, that Putin was fine with it. The Kremlin, I guess, has said that that's actually unacceptable to them. What's reason?
We will be moving all Ukrainians to Gaza. Palestinians will go to Ukraine. It's gonna be crazy. We'll do a hanky-panky, swappy-wappy.
That's not what I was told. But you're going to need some form of peacekeeping. So something will be done that's going to be satisfactory to everybody. We need peace.
He's right. When you make a deal, you have to take a sacrifice. Ultimately, there is no way, and I'm going to be honest. I think Trump is saying something that is hurting Ukraine. You know, emotionally, without a doubt. But you need to find peace. How on earth are you going to make peace? How are you going to make peace if Russia's not willing to move back? So ultimately, yes, you can criticize Trump for saying that, for not saying that Putin invaded. But I don't know if that's one of the cards on the table that were required to stop the war.
Keeping to.
Any situation.
It's actually.
I know people are going to hate on me for this and call me callous and shit, but yes, this is the trying to put my emotions away for a second and be reasonable for a minute. And look, it's not a perfect resolution, but I'm going to stand by my opinion. And you have every right to disagree with me. But I'm going to stand by my opinion for sure.
Actually, something I did discuss, but a form of peacekeeping that's acceptable to everybody. Ultimately, we'll be able to agree on something. I'm sure.
With Ukraine and this mineral deal, what does Ukraine get in return, Mr. President?
They got $350 billion. What do you
What do they
mean?
get in return? God, these people don't understand anything about business.
$350 billion?
Yes! Duh! I hate this concept that somehow America needs to be the world's piggy bank. Everyone in the world feels entitled to America's money. Why? Literally why? If America does you a favor, you get on your knees, you suck the orange cock, and you say, thank you, Mr. President, for your favor. They're giving you $350 billion. The least they can do is pay you whatever they can for it. I don't know. I hate this concept that America somehow, because America's powerful, they have to give the entire world literally everything for free.
Lots of equipment, military equipment, and the right to fight on, and originally the right to fight. Look, Ukraine, I will say they're very brave and they're good soldiers, but without the United States and its money and its military equipment, this war would have been over in a very short period of time. In fact, I was the one that gave the javelins. You remember the famous javelins? That was me. That wasn't Obama. It wasn't Biden. It wasn't anybody else. It was me. And they wiped out a lot of tanks with those javelins. And the expression was that Obama gave sheets and I gave the javelins. That was a big deal at the time. It wiped out. That was the beginning when people said, wow, that's something. Well, that was American equipment. Without American equipment, this war would have been over very quickly. And American money, too. I mean, a lot of money.
So
You're looking at this the wrong way. You see, the reason why Trump has given money to Ukraine was to protect his assets. If Russia would have conquered Ukraine, who would have these miracles? This was an investment miracles. Minerals. This was an investment, guys. It's crazy.
That's how the coup works. It's interesting how you're so close,
Well, it could go for
and yet you won't put the dots together.
we have a deal with Russia.
Not can't,
We need to have a deal
won't.
with Russia. Otherwise, it's going to continue. But now when Americans put up their money, the taxpayer money, and the president approves it, we're getting our money back in some.
I feel like America as a country is a very empathetic country. You know, we have freedom of speech. We care about the individual. It's a very empathetic country with a very empathetic people. It's people that care about the victim no matter what. Literally no matter what. That's why in America, I think you have so often, you'll have people like supporting Ukraine because they're the victims. and therefore saying that literally everything you do ever has to be for Ukraine. You're not allowed to do something mean to Ukraine, even if it'll cause peace, because Ukraine is the victim, and you're not allowed to be mean to the victims ever. And when I say victims, I mean a minority group, I mean a culture, I mean a country, no matter what. Same with, the Israel-Gaza conflict. You'll have people actually empathetic to Hamas terrorists because, Israel's army is a lot stronger. Yes, the Hamas terrorists.
He was so close there.
Started it. They jumped into the fucking country. They killed thousands of people, innocent people. And
So close, guy. You're so close. All right, I'm going to bed.
They are literally in the world, in the eyes of the empathetic individual.
I'm gonna pass out. Good night. Love you.